Hey, kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast.
The best things in life are free, but you can give them to the birds and bees. I need fun. All I want. That's what I want. All I want. That's what I want.
That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the beloved animated sitcom The Simpsons from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest episodes when they air. Why do we do it this way? Well, plenty of other podcasts have discussed the golden age, that being seasons 1 through 10. So we're out here in podcast land to find if anything from 11 to the modern age is worthy of a golden age. And technically, we have already done all of season 11 as of this record, so we're kind of more of 12 and beyond. And eventually we'll be 13, 14, and 15, minus 16, then 17 and 18. It's just because we have a wheel of random. I say we because I'm Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig. With me, as always, the other Annoyed Grunt Boy,
Steve. Hello, Craig. Thank you for that lesson on numbers.
That's how they work. You look, I have a child, and we're going through the alphabet and numbers. She can count pretty high. I get bored after when she gets to 30. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You can count.
Yeah.
Go play video games or something, kid.
Here's a tablet.
We still haven't given her a tablet because we don't have we have tablets, but we don't use them. She does there is a game on a phone, and she keeps trying to grab mom's phone to play it. So we're already concerned that it was just one time, here, play this because we need to trim your nails. So you're not yelling at us and crying. It's going downhill. I think, I've already failed at parenting, Steve. That's all I'm going to say.
You just need to show her The Simpsons and she'll grow up to be fine. It worked for us, and we're not stupid.
Well, she enjoys theme songs. So I'll turn on, when I'm watching an episode of The Simpsons, when the theme comes on, she plays it, or she loves watching it and hearing the music. And then when she points to Homer, no joke, she goes, Dada? Huh. Which is nice. She calls Homer Dada and not Homer. So Homer would be really happy to hear that my daughter calls Homer Dada. I think it's, in her mind, men are dadas and women are mamas.
That's a very reductive view of your daughter to have, but I like it. I think it's cute.
She will also point to her mother and then me. She points to her mother and goes, big, and then goes to me and says, small, big, and small. And I'm wondering, is she pointing to each other's chests? That's the only way I can think of what's big and small. Steve, I just realized I'm a 40-year-old man talking about raising a child. I sound like a comedian that's in their 40s.
Yeah, but you're actually kind of funny, so that's something. And we haven't canceled you yet, so
yeah. Speaking of which, Steve, as a 40-year-old comedian that talks about raising a family, I'm going to stop that, and I'm going to have you watch me masturbate. No comedian at that ilk has ever done that, right?
No, yeah, I think you're in the clear.
Louis C.K. is what I'm referencing.
Yes.
Who still, despite him jerking off in front of people, still is making a really decent career of being a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, he's got a special on Netflix. Cancel culture is kind of not really a thing. It should be a thing, but so many people have just gotten away with it. But this is not, we're a dumb cartoon podcast.
I like cancel culture in the fact that it helps me, eliminate media from my life.
That is a very good point.
I know the Louis C.K. thing happened probably 10 years ago at this point.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm like, well, I guess I never have to watch any shows or stand-up that he does again. But look, all of Hollywood is gross and sick. So, never meet your heroes or get beat off in front of your heroes.
Yes, but you do make a good point. The relief I feel when I don't have to consume more media is weird. I love to not, when a prestigious show that I haven't quite gotten around to watch yet gets canceled, of course I feel bad for the creators if they're not scumbags, but I'm also just I don't have to watch that now because there won't be a season 2, so I don't have to catch up with season 1, and so I can just go back to watching the things that I know and I'm familiar with.
Yeah, I feel that way, but certain shows are you gotta watch this, and then after season 2, season 1's always great, then season 2 wasn't as popular, and then they cancel it. I'm like, you know what? I'm glad I don't have to endure that, because I think there was a whole show that the Duffer Brothers did after Stranger Things on Netflix and had a great cast and everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I should watch it, but then they canceled after the first season. And I'm like, good, I don't have to watch it. But apparently it was actually a good show. But I don't even remember the title. don't care. We have too much right now, and except for podcasts, we don't have enough, especially Simpsons podcasts.
Right, we need more podcasts, and we need you to listen to us, listener.
And we make more podcasts for our Patreons, which are a lot of fun. And
Yes.
if you haven't signed up, which we're getting new Patreon listeners. Thank you for signing up, new listeners. But if you got $5, be a paid member. You get bonus content that's worth sticking your ear tooth in.
I say this like with complete honesty. If I were not a host of the Patreon, I would sign up because of the stuff that we cover is so interesting and so varied and so much fun that it's as much fun as to talk about as it is to listen to. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, it sounds like we're giving you an ad again. Maybe it is, but we talk about like TV shows and movies that are tangential to The Simpsons or something reference on The Simpsons that happens. And we don't expect you to watch those episodes that we're talking about, those movies that we're talking about. It's just some of the absurd things that we watch, but a lot of like great stuff that we've watched too.
Mm-hmm.
And especially us like opening our minds or just really experiencing something that we haven't experienced. I think one of the things that we don't tend to do is let's watch some of our favorite movies. Granted, we've done it a couple times, but it's not like let's watch Ghostbusters and talk about it, which is like my favorite, right?
Right.
I have nothing to say about it because it's something I like. So experiencing movies that we saw in the video stores as a youth and like wondered what that was, but then finally watching it, or TV shows that we always poo-pooed, like for instance, MASH, which, I'll bite my tongue and say, yeah, it's not a bad show. That's why it's one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. But sitting down and watching something like a MASH and then like maybe watching more episodes and get like, okay, I understand why it's so popular. And that's what we discover on the Patreon.
So check out the Patreon. It's good stuff, and that was an ad, but that's what we're here to talk about today.
Yeah, what we're really here to talk about is Squarespace. You know what, Steve? There's so many websites out there that just don't know what to do, but Squarespace can do it for you.
They'll help you build a website. It's just easy drag and drop systems. It's great, and it's a little low price too, especially if you use offer code AnnoyedGruntBoys.
In fact, we're starting a new podcast called Squarespace the Podcast, where we just talk about other podcasts that promote Squarespace.
And also the Hymns podcast, where we talk about the other podcasts that sell hymns and hers and theirs.
In fact, if we talk about any penises in this episode, you're going to think about Blue Chew. So get your boner pills out and enjoy this podcast, Steve. Well, let's just get on with this week's episode, Steve, which is called Super Franchise Me, which aired October 12th, 2014. I believe safe to say that was this the weekend of your wedding?
No. It was a year before the... Yes, but your date is right. I got married on the 10th, October 10th of 2015, so...
So close.
So close. But thank you for thinking of me.
Don't forget, when this episode aired, Steve was still a virgin because he was not married.
I'm a good little boy. Or I was. Then I got married. Now I'm naughty as hell.
All right, Steve, let's talk about the pop culture of that day, October 12th. Steve, what was the number one movie in the box office?
Speaking of naughty, the number one movie was Gone Girl.
Ah, yes, the infamous 0.001 second of Ben Affleck's penis. Now, Steve, biggest debate on the internet. Is that real or prosthetic? Go.
I think it's prosthetic. I don't think that hammer is that hung.
I've heard Kevin Smith say that it was real because Ben Affleck probably was problematic and showed his cock to a lot of people in his younger days on movie sets. I could see that happening.
I hear he likes to have sex with women in uncomfortable places.
Like the back of a Volkswagen.
Exactly.
And probably like the Batmobile too, because he was Batman. That would be an uncomfortable place to have sex.
Yes, but one good thing about the Batmobile, great stereo system.
I always wondered that. Like, does he need all that treble? Or...
I mean, I think Robin does because he can't focus because he's learning still.
Right, he needs a teacher.
Right.
But not like a creepy robot girl to teach him.
Right, exactly.
What was the number one hot song of that week?
It was All About That Bass by Meghan Trainor.
Well, Steve, I'm going to thieve a jig from you while I enjoy my white, creamy liquid of luck.
Alrighty. Which brings us to the number one hot rock and alternative song, Stolen Dance by Milky Chance.
I do not know what that song. I know all about that bass. I know that song, but I've never heard "Stolen Dance" by Milky Chance. It's just.
I think all songs should rhyme with the band that they are in.
All right, let's go real quick.
I guess they're just really breaking the rules of what it means to be a band or a song.
Well, no. But before we do our next bit, I want to do your bit. So, give me a famous song.
Oh, okay. Any song.
You can't name one song. How about "Baby Got Back" by Sir Mix-a-Lot? It should be "Baby Got Back" by Sir Mix-a-Back. No, that doesn't work.
Staying Alive by the BG5.
That was good. Eleanor Rigby by Jeremy's Iron. I can't do it. I'm sure the Beatles have other songs that they could have easily done. All right, fine, Steve. Let's go back to the bit. This bit, I'm ending. I'm lighting it on fire.
Oh man, I feel like a serial killer in a horror movie, wearing a hockey mask. But I'm also managing a college.
And your name is Alfred, but people call you Al?
Exactly.
Because of Paul Simon. All right. What was the hot country song?
Burning It Down by Jason Aldean.
So after this, Steve, after this next song, we can finally be independent and not shackled down by this bit.
That's going to be huge. It's going to be just large.
Right. And Blink is dead, baby.
Yes.
I feel like we did this artist last week. Steve, what was the hot dance electric?
It was Break Free by Ariana Grande featuring Zed.
It's hard to believe that this is 2004. Okay, bit's done, by the way. That it's 2014, and that was 12 years ago this episode aired.
Mm-hmm.
And that we knew of Ariana Grande 12 years ago. I feel like she's still new to this.
I agree, and I feel like it's just because we're old men. But yeah, it does seem weird that she shouldn't be around for nearly a decade and a half.
I mean, we are old men, Steve. Let's just get on with this episode. Super Franchise Me. Marge opens a sandwich franchise store after her sandwiches become a huge success at Springfield Elementary School. But running day-to-day at the store proves challenging, especially when the same franchise opens across the street. All right, Steve, what do you say we take a little break, come back, and do this episode?
Sounds great.
We'll be right back.
Beef for the tillerman, steak for the sun, wine for the woman who made the rain come. Seagulls sing your hearts away as wild sinners sin, the children play. Oh Lord, how they play and play for that happy day, for that happy day.
And we're back. Today we are talking about Super Franchise Me. It's the third episode of the 26th season. It's episode 555 in the show's run. It's 3/4 of a Satan.
I'm kind of bad.
I'm evil, but like not quite evil yet.
Yeah.
I'm almost there. Originally aired October 12th, 2014. The nerd code is SABF19. Written by William Bill Odenkirk. Directed by Mark Kirkland. And the showrunner is Alfred Aljean.
Alrighty, Bill Odenkirk, of course, younger brother of Bob Odenkirk. But Bill is a writer and producer and actor in his own right. He wrote for Mr. Show with Bob and David with his brother. Also went on to write for Tenacious D, Futurama, and Disenchantment. But we're talking about his Simpsons history and not his PhD in inorganic chemistry. But so far, he's written 15 episodes of The Simpsons, and this is the 7th that we've reviewed. The ones that we have yet to talk about, Treehouse of Horror 15, he wrote all 3 segments. Crooked Ladder from Season 18, $1 Billion Maybe, not to be confused with $1 Million AB, from Season 21, and then Pulpit Friction To Career with Love, The Last Traction Hero, and Grampy Can You Hear Me, as well as the latest episode that he wrote, The Fat Blue Line from season 31. But to go on to the ones that we have talked about, there's the 7 Beer Snitch from season 16, The Mook the Chef, The Wife and Her Homer from 2006, season 18, Double Double Boy in Trouble from season 20, Love is a Many Strangled Thing from season 22, Adventures in Baby Getting, Forgive and Regret, and now here we are with Super Franchise Me.
All right. I don't think we ever really talked about Bill Odenkirk that much. I think it's fascinating that there's like the Odenkirks, and they're from Chicago. And then you have like the Murray boys, like Bill and Brian Doyle, and they're also from Chicago. Like, what is it about like Chicago people that are funny?
If I had to guess, and this is pure hearsay, I think it's cold. And so in those winter months, you have to like spend a lot of time inside, and you go a little stir crazy, and maybe you get a little goofy on it.
Yeah, and it's interesting that like Bill is, well, one, he's a professor, like you said, and just a playwright and writer. And we never like see him. I literally just like, I don't even know what he looks like. So I just like typed his name, like, okay, yeah, I mean, he looks like an Odenkirk. But the dynamic between him and his brother, I'm curious like how that is. Like, because Bob is the star, but also in his own right was a comedy writer.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's like any sibling rivalry, or is like, do you think Bill's like jealous of Bob's career? Or I don't know who this man is. I would love to talk to Bill Oakley. I mean, Bill Odenkirk.
I'd like to talk to both Bills. But yeah, it's interesting because Bob Odenkirk is such an interesting fellow in his own right, because I've heard other people talk about like him being not hard to work with, but unique to work with. So add a brother dynamic to that, it's got to be really weird. Maybe like Bill is less of a performer and more of a writer, and so he didn't have aspirations. Like think about like he co-wrote the greatest song in the world, both the song by Tenacious D and the episode around it, which is such an amazing thing, and it kind of is a really good introduction to what Tenacious D is all about. And he doesn't get his flowers for that, but like, so he's integral to like comedy, and yeah, we don't know who he is. It is fascinating.
He is the younger brother of Bob, so Bob is the older brother, and they're only like 2 or 3 years apart. So I wonder if there's ever like any bullying or taunting. I mean, the brothers, right? They have to. Do you think that? I'm just wondering if like Bill is just like had bottled everything up, and then
God damn it!
yeah, I mean, he hasn't had like a massive heart attack like his brother did, so we know. I don't know, just interesting that we haven't really talked about, because we only reviewed, like you said, a couple episodes, and
yeah,
it's been a while since we've talked about Bill. When was the last time we did an episode with the he wrote?
Way back in September of last year. So yeah, almost a year.
Our yearly Bill Odenkirk episode.
Yeah, to me, he's nobody.
All right, but for our Patreon listeners, look, we got a slew of things for Eye Off Springfield. I mean, I'm excited. Maybe eventually talking about a Tenacious D episode.
Ooh, yeah.
Or, I guess obviously we have to talk about Disenchantment in the future. Did you know that, speaking of Disenchantment, I didn't realize that the newest season of Futurama, there's going to be a Futurama Disenchantment crossover. So I think, does that mean I have to go and finish Disenchantment to get where we're at in that Futurama episode?
Yes, and it also means that I have to watch a lot of Futurama to get caught up to wherever the hell they are, because I'm also woefully behind on that.
I'll say I'm caught up currently as of August 2026. I am caught up to the episodes, and I've actually enjoyed the newer Futuramas that have been on Hulu. So
that's good.
I'll say that
Okay.
they're exciting and fun, and a lot of, it reminds me of a lot of I'm gonna say they're a little bit more, not saying political, but they are timely like episodes. Like they really do kind of reference like current day pop culture. So there you go. That's my review for Futurama. But let's just get on to this episode. Steve, we have a title gag. It's Fruit Batman, and he's flying across the screen on a rope. And we saw Fruit Batman in what was it called? The
Dark Knight Court.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was the Dark Knight Court, because I was disappointed because it had nothing to do with no
Right.
$50 and no time served. But we do have also a couch gag, and T for Tillerman, the last track of the same album by Cat Stevens, or Yusuf Islam, plays, and the lyrics are kind of played out by various characters of Springfield, such as Homer enjoying a spot of tea and a bottle of Duff, a steak for his son, Bart, and then Maggie, Patty, and Selman enjoying the wine for the women who made the rain come. Three-eyed seagulls sing their hearts away over the nuclear power plant, and a sinner sinning, that's Burns dumping nuclear waste in a stream, and the children playing, with Bart, Lisa, and Ralph on the swings. And then that still life drawing of the three kids comes to life with Bart and Lisa swinging back and forth, but Ralph is still in the air, suspended, but blinking. We then cut back to Homer, who stands up and spills the tea service because he tucked the tablecloth into his pants.
I love the Ralph part of that opening. It was creepy and great.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Cat Stevens recently say he's gone back to his name as Cat Stevens and isn't Muslim anymore? Or
I believe so. I think his history was, I don't know, I think society wanted to shun him, but hearing the song, I was like, man, this is a good song. I should get into Cat Stevens.
Yeah, he's great. I love him. Cat Stevens. Is there do you think there's a dog Craig?
I think so, yeah.
All right.
And of course, that song, the theme song to the show Extras, which is a great show.
Man, I haven't watched that in a long time. I think that's when you knew that Daniel Radcliffe would be a good comedic actor.
Yeah.
Because at that time, you were only seeing Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter, and then when he made that cameo in Extras was great. And I think Daniel Radcliffe, David Bowie's, and Patrick Stewart's are probably my favorite cameos on that episode or that show.
I would agree, yeah. But yeah,
Patrick Stewart probably the best.
Yes. Although David Bowie's is really good.
I just want to watch that episode, or just the clip in the trailer. That's all I wanted to see. And I saw everything. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, check out Extras. This is before people hated Ricky Gervais. So,
when he's still funny.
Yeah. Oh, but he's brilliant now. He hates God. He loves dogs.
Maybe he likes you, dog Craig. Or Craig dog.
No, I'm dog Craig, right? Cragans.
Yeah, there you go.
Because if it's Cat Stevens, Craig, or Dog Cragans.
Dog Crickens, yes.
Should I just do a Cat Stevens cover band, or just me?
Yeah.
Doing Cat Stevens songs on a acoustic guitar. I'm like, hello, I'm Dog Stevens. Why am I talking like that? I mean, Dog Craig. I don't even know my own name. All right, Steve, hey. Our episode begins, as it always does, with Ned Hammer of Jesus Flanders. That's my new nickname for Ned Flanders now, Hammer of Jesus.
Love it.
Okay. He's humming a tune while he paints figurines of said superhero Jesus in various sports activities, such as playing soccer with children, which is titled Jesus is My Coach, playing hockey with the non-Jersey Devil, titled Jesus Checks Satan into the Boards. Jesus ducks on Judas, and Jesus wins the biathlon. It's great, just him down with a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And Ned comments that he's never bored when he's painting with the Lord. And Rod and Todd ask for help on a school project where they are looking for excessive electricity use, or as Rod puts it, hunting vampire appliances.
While you're looking up YouTube clips, look up Conan Jesus figurines, because I remember in 2002, Conan O'Brien had a whole slew of these actual figurines of Jesus playing sports with kids, and I just remember it being very funny.
So on Conan O'Brien, were they figurines that they made for the show as a bit, or were they actual figurines that they made fun of as a bit?
I do believe they were actual figurines, although I feel like towards the end, because they did this a couple times, the prop department was starting to build their own that were more and more ridiculous. But this just reminded me of those.
I remember seeing fun t-shirts back in the early 2000s. God, I don't remember the t-shirt site. But they had,
God,
a lot of,
yes.
Great lines, but it was almost I don't think it was college humor, but it might have been, but I don't remember the brand. But it was wasn't there a Jesus, Jesus
saves,
and he's a goaltender for hockey.
Yeah.
My favorite was the hungry hippos. I probably talked about this.
Yeah.
It was just the hippo shrugging his shoulders and his arms up, saying, "I was honestly never that hungry." I just remember laughing my ass off at that.
Another one that I remember was a chicken and an egg sitting in bed together, smoking a cigarette, being like, "I think I did."
I think another one was just South Korea has Seoul. I
Yeah.
like that one.
There are a
too.
lot of like geographic pun ones, I remember.
Yeah, what was that site? I don't remember, but I always wanted to put, I think I might have purchased one shirt. I don't remember what it was, but I was poor at the time. I couldn't afford the $15.99 shirts in 2000. That's when they were released. Now they're probably $38.99. I still can't afford a t-shirt.
Yeah. But if you go to tpublic.com/user/annoyinggruntboys, you can get yourself a very affordable shirt.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, TeePublic. Great. tpublic.com.
All right. So Ned unplugs his VCR cassette rewinder, his DVD player, his DVD rewinder, and his Tom Selleck mustache flattener. It's interesting that they use the mustache spelling of MOU, the more British spelling. I don't know.
I'm going to be honest with you, Steve. I don't know how to spell mustache either way. Every time I try to type it, I'm like, is that right? And then like spell check is like, what the fuck are you trying to spell?
Yeah, I didn't know either. And then I looked at it and it's like, this looks weird. Am I dumb? And the answer is yes, but also they used a British spelling on there, which is less common in the States, but probably still right. I don't know.
Well, I spell gray the British way, which is R-E-Y, not R-A-Y, which is the common American way, is doing the R-A-Y.
I like the E.
I do too.
Yeah, it looks better.
Yeah, and it sounds natural. Gray, not gray.
Gray. Although Ray,
You can spell Ray with an E.
just ask Star Wars.
Oh my God, you're right. Luke Skywalker. It has an E in it.
Very true.
Jedi Zionist Luke Skywalker.
Which empire are you for there, Luke? Not a political podcast. Ned also unplugs his Rapture clock, which said there were 9,698 minutes and 45 seconds left. That's roughly 161 hours, or nearly a whole week, until the end of days. And after pulling more plugs than a Dutch doctor, Ned and the boys take an exciting trip to the side of the house to check the meter. And Ned is shocked to find the levels at higher power than even he believes in.
Looking to cut down on the electrical usage, Ned turns off the power to his it's primary bedroom now, but at the time in 2014, we still said this. Rod and Todd's bedroom, the knick-knack nook, the Beatles bunker, and his left-hand lounge. And Steve, it's funny, he does all this with his right hand. It's weird.
Yeah, he's a lefty. What are you doing, Ned?
I do like the callback to his Beatles bunker. That's great.
Yeah.
So looking down, Ned sees a cord plugged in to an outlet. So that cord leads over the fence, and guess where it is, Steve? The Simpsons' backyard, where it's connected to a Ferris wheel supplied by Rickety Brothers Ride Rentals.
Aside from stealing Ned's electricity, that's a nice thing for Homer to do for the kids.
God, yeah. We were at a kid's birthday party yesterday, and the parents rented a giant water slide, like inflatable water slide, and those aren't cheap either. But I could only imagine a Ferris wheel. I feel like that was something that like MTV Sweet 16 parties would have done.
Oh yeah.
And the Ferris wheel is a shitty ride, but that's expensive, Homer. How did you pay for that?
Yeah, like I can't even I'm looking online to see if I can get like an estimate, and like they won't even tell you, like you have to they will only want you to know if you're like willing to put down money. So it's got to be pretty expensive.
So in the episode Bart Carney, remember, becomes the Carney, him and Bart.
Yeah.
What if there was like the carnival people came over? It's like, look, we heard about the grift you pulled on Jim Varney and his kid. R.I.P. by the way. And he's like, look, we don't want you to release to the public the scam that the carnival is, so we'll give you free access to our carnival rides whenever you need it. And so maybe he got a deal.
That makes sense. That's sound logic. I like that. That makes sense. So Bart, Lisa, and Santa's little helper enjoy the carnival ride in the comfort of their own backyard until it stops suddenly. Even Homer's annoyed, as he was enjoying the music. The kids and the dog hop from the ride to the roof and down the drain spout as Ned confronts Homer.
Homer Simpson, got any other sockets in my pockets?
Absolutely not.
Really? Really? Really?
Oh, my one weakness. The third really. Come with me. Turn right here. I keep this frozen meat in case society collapses, but we still have power.
Homer, this is my freezerino.
Seriously, I am getting so tired of those stupid Flandersisms.
It's the name of the freezer.
Okalitoka
Right next to Mount Fuji. I'm glad to see you.
Huh? It's all gonna thaw. Don't you give up on me.
I'll cook this meat, cut it up, and make it into sandwiches.
The extra freezer, the paragon of urban wealth. Like, if you're like in this, or suburban wealth rather, like having that bonus freezer to hold meat, it was like, for my parents, that was like a sign that you had made it.
We had one as a kid, but it was like my grandfather's, and then so it was old. And I remember having it in the garage. But Steve, we have one in our kitchen because we purchased one a few years ago because, like, you know, we buy a lot of like frozen meat, like packages of like, there's a lot of chicken legs. Like, we're not going to eat all these at once, so let's freeze them in packages of steaks. But they're not that expensive, Steve. They're like,
I know.
100, like ours probably cost us like $130 new.
Oh, that's not
This was
bad
a
at
few
all.
Years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And since we don't have a dining table in the kitchen, because, you know, we're proper Americans, we eat in front of a TV.
Of course.
So we have a freezer in the kitchen. So, it's very useful. It's full right now, Steve. I still have a free turkey from last year that I need to thaw and make.
Given the state of the world and food being what it is these days, it's a real good call to have that right now, I feel like. So, yeah, smart move.
Well, I like how Homer's like, I thought we'd have this when the world ends, and for some reason we still have electricity. It's a good point when people are like, we got to hoard this. Like, I guess, in that case, have a generator and it's going to be plugged into your freezer.
I mean, he'd probably just plug it into Ned's generator, so.
Yeah, no, I'd plug mine generator into the TV. I can go without the meat.
Yeah, of course, yes. I do want to go back real quick to the animation when Homer is enjoying the music from the Ferris wheel. It's just really old school, kind of like him bopping back and forth. It's just really well done. I really like it.
And I like the payoff of Homer like complaining about the Flandersisms, but it's actually called a freezerino, which makes me think it's like a really low brand freezer.
Yeah, that is a bad name for a freezer, a freezerino. But
Marge is going to make all of that meat. So Marge gets to work on Homer's meat. And while Homer spends his time waiting and worrying, she tenderizes the meat, and Homer paces back and forth in the living room. So she takes a taste of doneness on a steak, which, Marge, you're not supposed to just like cut open a steak while it's on the sizzling on a pan. You gotta let that bad boy rest.
Also, buy a thermometer. Come on.
So Homer is flipping through some magazines. One is called Time Passers, and the other is called Can't Focus. And then he seeks guidance from Reverend Lovejoy while Bart and Milhouse tie yellow ribbons around the tree outside in support for the cause. So Homer then spends his time by drinking 1A steak sauce, passing out around piles of ketchup bottles and packets. And then you see a pool of red oozing from underneath them like it's a gunshot and blood is coming out, but it's actually just one of those packets of ketchup. The scene is just playing off of the trope of loved ones in the hospital and they're going through surgery.
Yes.
And it's very well done, I think.
It is. And also Time Passers magazine. It's one of my favorite things because it shows on the cover of it a person reading the cover of Time Passers magazine who's reading the cover of Time Passers. Like, it goes infinitum. It's just it's a visual thing that I always enjoy.
Yeah, I love those infinite loop images.
Finally, Marge happily declares that her plan to cook the meat, slice it up, and make it into sandwiches has been completed. She even cut off the crusts and fed them to the dog, who stumbles into the floor full of lesser desired bread. Homer stuffs even more crust into Santa's little helper's mouth, until Lisa tells him that dogs don't know when to stop eating, which is a trait of that Homer is envious of.
When you were a kid, did you eat crust on or crustless?
I had no issue with crust. Crust is fine by me.
Same here. Like, I never understood why like kids like, oh, I don't like the crust. Like, what are you talking? It just tastes like bread.
I didn't notice a difference other than color.
No. Yeah. It's bready goodness, and like the heel of the sandwich. My favorite thing to do with a loaf of bread is like I was at, I'm assuming most people like they keep the heels on until the end because it helps maintain freshness. But my favorite thing to do at the end is to take the two heels and make a patty melt out of it. It's like a patty melt and a burger in one.
Also, just a pro tip that I'm sure everyone has already figured out. If you have a heel, just use the heel part on the inside and you don't even notice. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter.
And you have like a hot dog but no buns. The heel works perfectly.
Totally. Yeah. We're pro heel on the podcast.
We're just heels.
Mm-hmm.
Not the popular wrestling bad guy duo team, but bread people.
Yes. And not sensible shoes.
Steve, I just figured it out. Let's become wrestlers because there's a big wrestling community in Portland wrestling, whatever. We'll be heels. Our literal costumes will be just pieces of bread heels.
Oh, yeah.
That's what our characters will be. Like, and
like
it looks
it.
like bread puns.
Mm-hmm. All rise.
That's my brother. He has a wry wit about himself.
I'm sour. Don't mess me up.
We may look like we're white bread, but we're whole wheat. I don't know. We'll have to work on these puns, Steve. And the great thing about like the professional wrestling, we really don't have to get into shape. We just got to wear funny costumes. It's all choreography.
Especially if our deal is bread. Like, we can be a little, if I may, doughy.
What if like our signature thing when we come out is like we take a loaf of bread and then like, like bad guys would like bite the head off of like an animal. Instead, we just like bite an unsliced loaf of bread, like
You're toast.
But maybe like, what if we fill the bread up with like red jelly? So if we bite into it, it's just like red comes out. It looks like blood.
I like this.
We will be called the Annoyed Doughboys.
Yes.
Sorry, just the Doughboys.
Yeah. Oh no, it's our arch enemy, celiac disease.
And then, wait, so then we can't handle the gluten?
Yeah.
Or would we have like...
And then because we are heels, we could be like, but can you handle these glutes? And then we just moon the audience.
Can we have like a story where where you have to turn on me because you have to be gluten-free because you fell in love with a woman that has celiac disease? We'll bring it up again.
I like that, yeah.
And they store you in the freezer because you're gluten-free bread.
Yeah. I'm healthier, but my life is so much worse.
We'll lose weight and become lettuce wraps.
Ooh, I like, yeah.
All right, hey, can we stop talking about a future wrestling crew on this podcast? Steve? We got to talk about the Simpsons.
Oh, right.
And all that meat that Marge just made. I mean, she could have done other things besides make sandwiches, right?
Yeah, she could have. There's a whole plethora because it seemed to be all kinds of meat. So, yeah.
My first thought is like when I see like if like the freezer fails and there's meat, my thought isn't let's cook it up to make sandwiches. It's like, well, let's just cook it to eat it and then decide what to do with the leftovers.
Yeah, like why not have like a community barbecue or something?
Wow. Yeah, that would have been nice and charitable for the Simpsons to do. You're right.
But, whatever.
So Marge presents the family with a laundry basket full of wrapped sandwiches. Homer is impressed that she once again took one of his screw-ups and turned it into food. So he wishes Marge could do that the same with Bart, and then he envisions him as a bag of groceries, which is nice because his hair is like a classic paper bag grocery. And Homer frequently imagines all the family as food, so this time with Marge as a soft-serve cone, Lisa as a star-shaped sugar cookie, and Maggie as the gingerbread person. Abe as a potato who walks in begging someone to put butter on him. And Homer declares that the sight to be family-icious, as Grandpa once again demands to be buttered up.
He does look like a potato. That makes sense.
Marge thinks he's neat then.
Mm-hmm. So do I. That night, as Marge is tucking her in, Lisa asks for a dozen sandwiches for lunch the following day, adding that she doesn't care if they have meat or not. And then Bart walks into Lisa's room, asking that his suitcase and its garment bag be filled to the brim with those sandwiches. Marge is concerned that the kids are eating their feelings, but Lisa assures her mother that she vents to Maggie whenever she's upset, which may have some lasting effects on the youngest Simpson, but who cares? She's a good whistler. It'll be fine. Bart, meanwhile, smashes fluorescent lights in a gravel pit to work out his emotions, coughing up a bit of that toxic lighting material as he says this. When Marge asks why they want so many sandwiches, Lisa explains that the other kids love them and they're able to trade them at school. Bart adds that the Sandos have replaced cigarettes as the de facto currency, and Marge wonders if he meant bubblegum cigarettes, and he's like, yeah, sure.
The image of Maggie when they cut to her, like, shivering in fear of listening to the memories of Lisa's trauma. It's great.
I could totally see Lisa going into her room and just complaining about absolutely everything.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. So later, Ned arrives at the front door and Homer greets him as a freezer stealer. And Marge explains that Ned is allowing them to use his freezer to store extra sandwiches. And Homer says that Flanders isn't perfect after he shares his guilt for wanting the freezer back, something that was rightfully his in the first place. And Ned never claimed to be perfect, and Homer once again declares that he isn't. Now, I was going to bring up something before I was watching the episode, because when I'm watching it, I'm like, I think it's kind of shitty for Ned to, like, unplug that to waste all that meat. And I'm glad that that was rectified here in the scene of like, okay, so he did feel bad about that because that's kind of a fucked up thing that Ned would let all that meat go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
But I like your idea. He should have said, well, you know what? Since it's my freezer, you can cook that meat, but donate to the charity, like you said, like have a church picnic.
There you go. Yeah, that would make sense. Just have it in the first trip to Springfield. The following day at Springfield Elementary, Marge watches the children enjoying her sandwiches. A woman walks up to Marge and points to her own face, saying it's opportunity, and if Marge blinks, she'll miss it. And Marge does, in fact, blink, and the face is gone. That's it. Oh, wait. Actually, the woman is right behind Marge, and she does bring up a potential opportunity.
I'm Trudy Zangler, Vice President of Development for Mother Hubbard Sandwich Cupboards. How would you like to run your own business? Take control of your financial future.
Homie, how much money do we have put aside in case something happens to you?
None.
No.
If that flashback you just described is true, you can't afford not to open this franchise.
I'm in.
Wow, Mom, you're gonna open a sandwich store?
Uh-huh.
Mom, if you're gonna do this, there's one thing I need to know. And be honest. What's your soda refill policy?
All you can drink if you buy a jumbo cup.
I like meeting Trudy, of course, voiced by our favorite, Tress McNeil.
Trudy, good. I like this scene's good just because I like the Marge thought of like her talking to Homer and then him doing the classic pull up the chair, listen, we gotta talk, Chad, and just him going like none.
Yeah.
And then when she comes back and Trudy's like, well, that was a great if that's true what you described, that's I love it when there's flashbacks or scenes that we're have to see in storytelling, and then when the character's like, thanks for telling me about this flashback.
Yeah, it's always funny to me.
Steve, what's your soda refill policy?
I say fill her up. They're a loss leader. Who cares?
100%. Like, I hear that, like, McDonald's now are, one, they're not, I don't think they're having you to, like, you have to, when you get the soda, you get it from them. Like the old days, but then remember when we were kids, like, they started bringing the soda machines out into the lobby.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're back behind the counter. I don't know. It's just like, it's sugar water. It's so cheap.
Yeah. And like, I don't care if you ordered water and you're getting like, I mean, I'm not a business owner, but I don't think it really matters. Like any situation where I've been in a job where there is a soda fountain, I couldn't care less. Like, it doesn't really matter if you steal 3 cents of Diet Coke or whatever.
Right. Unless you're the owner of the business, of course.
Yes.
Well, this whole episode will talk about like franchise versus like mom and pop.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we'll get to that, but I think if you're like a mom and pop shop, I think then maybe like don't do the free refills. But if you're, again, we'll get to like when we're talking about like franchisees versus just like corporate. If it's a corporate ran store, fuck them is what I'll say.
100%. I just remember in the 80s, my parents had a deli briefly for like 2 or 3 years in Portland. And after it shut down, we had cases of bag-and-box RC Cola that we couldn't get rid of. I don't know if my parents got a good deal on it or whatever, but like it sat in our basement forever. So we were clearly either not giving it away or not giving it away fast enough. So I don't know.
In fact, Steve, I dug up this audio from your parents, and it was a phone call your dad placed to the RC Cola factory. And in it, here, I'll just play it. Hello, this is RC Cola Factory. Hello, I am Jim, Steve's dad. Hello, Jim. What can I do you for? I have all these cases of RC Cola that we don't need anymore because my business is shut down. We don't want that either. Bye. Click.
Wow. What a cruel monarchy the royal crown rules. Man.
Change this bit again. Oh, I'm going to redo the bit, Steve. I mean, that wasn't a bit, Steve.
Yeah.
Let me go back and listen to that phone call again. Ring, 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 ring. Hello, Royal Crown Soda. This is King Cola speaking. Hi, this is Jim, Steve's dad, owner of New Delhi, Portland. Oh, hello, Sir Steven's dad, Jim. What may I do you for? New Delhi went out of business, and we have a bunch of your RC Cola, so we just want to know if we can get our money back and ship it back to you. Oh, heavens, no. We don't want that shit here at Royal Crown Soda. Bye. Click. There, that's the real audio, Steve.
The quality is great, and I'm beginning to realize the reason why my parents' deli failed is because they were a German deli, but they're called New Delhi, and so people thought it was Indian food.
Yeah, that was a real reason, and people thought your dad was weird because he would say, "Hi, I'm Steve's dad, Jim."
Yeah.
To everybody.
Like, who's Steve?
You know, annoyed grunt boy Steve.
It's 1984. What's an annoyed grunt boy?
And why do you sound like annoyed grunt boy Craig and not like a different character of Steve's dad?
So many questions.
And little answers, Steve. Let's just go back to The Simpsons.
All right, well, speaking of soda, Homer warns Marge that a similar lax policy on refills caused him to bankrupt a Pizza Hut. He then flashes back to the pizza store shutting down while he slurps down one Buzz Cola after another, indifferent to the manager begging him to stop, wondering where all that liquid is going.
Another fun flashback scene because there's like a moment where they just pause on Homer's face and then we go back to the continue the scene. Like, so this was real. And is Homer the reason why we don't have all those cool Pizza Huts anymore?
I think so, because he drank all the Buzz Cola.
See, I always thought Pizza Hut was a Pepsi company. I didn't know it was a Buzz Cola company.
It used to be Buzz until he drank it all, and then they had to switch to the Yum Corporation.
Well, Steve, the construction of Marge's location of Mother Hubbard's sandwich cupboard is finalized and complete with the sandwich on top of a frilly toothpick and a pickle on top of that. So inside, Marge appreciates her store and her offset spatula just as Krusty walks in, noting that his own burger chain is just 2 blocks away. Threatening to do what he did to Arby's, Krusty brings out Mr. Teeny, who is wielding a baseball bat. Before the chimp can damage the register, Marge offers him some slices of turkey, calming that monkey. Marge did the one thing for Mr. Teeny that Krusty could never do, and that is feed him. I know the Arby's joke is just always there because it's a funny word. So it's really not a joke on Arby's, but maybe they think The Simpsons just has to keep saying Arby's because it's a thing.
I feel like the Simpsons specifically have to keep the Oakley Arby's joke alive.
Now, I'm wondering, Steve, we have T-minus 1 year and a week until the new Simpsons movie is released. And during the 2007, was that when the first movie came out? Jesus.
Yeah.
So many tie-ins. We had, obviously, the 7-Elevens turned into Quickie Marts. And I think Burger King had promotional stuff. And as of now, currently, in a few weeks, Jack in the Box is going to have Treehouse of Horror tie-in Munchie Meals. But if there's any way possible, can we please have an Arby's Simpsons movie collab?
I would love that. It just seems like justice to be done.
And I know Arby's is a joke because the name is Arby's. It's a silly name. Arby's is actually a decent fast food chain. I've had them. Well, I haven't had them recently, but it's been a couple years. But I was thoroughly happy with what I had purchased.
I think that they're doing things that other restaurants don't have the chutzpah to do. Everybody does burgers. They're doing roast beef. Their cheesy roast beef sandwich is good. Their curly fries, great. And their limited time offers are always really interesting, even if they don't always hit. And I haven't been to one either in a minute, but I'm always curious to see what they're doing. I
think the only place that has fast food gyros or gyros, and they're pretty decent. I like them.
Yeah.
And I haven't had their burgers yet. I heard they're supposed to be fine. I think the last time I did a Burger King is when they had sliders, and I'm sure they still do now. But yeah, it's perfectly fine. I think the only reason why I haven't gone recently is because the past couple of years the manager was peeing in the milkshake machine, And then they arrested him because he also had child porn on his computer. So there. That's probably why I haven't gone to Arby's.
That's disgusting. He peed in the milkshake machine.
See, we had this discussion on this podcast, and you probably said the same joke.
Probably did. Anyway. Trudy likes Marge's calm demeanor and assures her that the company has her back with things like pre-sliced tomatoes to the homey needlepoint artwork on the walls that say things like, "A sandwich is when bread gives meat a hug." All Marge needs to do is now find her Sammy Fammy, or, staff. Trudy suggests that she avoid hiring Mr. Teeny, who is bathing in the salsa station. Marge complains to Krusty that his monkey ate all of her turkey, and Krusty offers her monkey to make amends. After turning down the primate meat, Marge begins the hiring process.
As you can see, I was just 2 credits short at Southern Illinois, and I gotta be honest with you, Marge. I need this job bad.
You seem to have had and lost a lot of jobs.
Dal, it's a whole new world, Marge, a whole new world. Why, my dad spent his whole life at one company. Started in the basement mailroom and ended his career jumping out the window from the top floor.
Ooh.
He was wearing this suit. Corpse suit.
I'm not sure this is going to work out.
Oh, I get it. You won't hire me because I'm pretty. That could be a lawsuit.
No lawsuit. You're hired.
Okay, so I don't want to do anything that will ruin my manicure.
Well, then why do you want this job?
So I can get manicures? Duh.
Professor, could you say, "Welcome to Mother Hubbard's sandwich cupboard" without making any other noises?
Of course I can, my dear child. Welcome to Mother Hubbard's sandwich. McBoing, boing, glaven, flivey, hivey, goive. And now I'm running to the unemployment office.
I love the whole, putting the team together, but especially Gil talking about his father's journey from the mailroom to making it to the top floor where he jumped off the building, and then the topper of the fact that Gil is wearing the same suit that his father died in. It's just great.
And the referencing of Gil and how he's had so many jobs.
Yeah, this is hiring people sucks.
Yeah.
Just in general.
I was also going to bring up that I love the design of Marge's, or the Mother Hubbard sandwich cupboard, because it has a fun, quirky sandwich on top. I remember when fast food restaurants or just even buildings had some sort of fun architectural design, and now it's just corporate looking.
I think the brutalism of McDonald's is the most depressing, because as a kid of the 80s and 90s, McDonald's was such a place of fun, and it even if there wasn't a play place, just the benches and the colors and the vibrancy of McDonald's, it felt like you're going to someplace special. And now it just feels like the concept of corporatism defined.
Is it because of Starbucks? When Starbucks started really franchising or becoming so big, that Starbucks cafe look of, like you said, kind of brutalism, or more modernism, industrialism, and then everyone's like, well, people with money still like to go to Starbucks, and it's essentially Starbucks is just fast food, so it seems more elegant to go to Starbucks than going to your McDonald's and Wendy's. It isn't classy, so let's make them look classy, and then people will be cool to go in there. In reality, we only get fast food because 1, it's cheap, 2, we're lazy, 3, we're poor, 4, it's comfort food.
Yeah.
I've never put down fast food at all. I'm just saying well, now I do, because it isn't affordable and we're all poor. So.
That's true. Yeah.
But they had identities, and this episode is very much Subway coded. Even old Subways, the yellow benches, the walls that were just this old Subway or newspaper thing. It was fun to go in because you knew where you're at, and like you said, McDonald's, yeah, it was fun as a kid. Now, I'm too afraid to step inside of these places.
Yeah, and what sucks too is you make an excellent point, because the Starbucksification of not only fast food, but even independent coffee shops here in Portland, they all have granite slabs for tables, and there's no decor because they want it to be clean and look like it is efficient or fancy or like elitist. And so I miss the days of like mismatched furniture or like crappy like tables that you have to put like sugar packets under to like level them out, or just personality. And now it's just like, let's be clean and dynamic and like get you in and get you out and get you gone. And yeah, it just sucks.
We're now an official nostalgic podcast, Steve.
I think so, yeah. Back in my day, things were good. Now things are bad. I'm the first generation to say that.
Back in my day, we only had 2 wars in the Middle East. And we liked it, damn it.
Yeah. It's awful. Everything's awful.
Yeah. So Marge is too nervous to sleep that night, moaning with frustration until she wakes Homer. And she apologizes for accidentally ruining his slumber, then shares her worry about the store and herself both failing. And Homer offers his love and the fact that he's had his own share of failures over the years. He adds that sometimes he gets nervous, then he thanks Marge for allowing him to talk it out. He then goes to sleep, but Marge slaps him awake since she was the one with the problem. And Homer opens his eyes, asking, snuggle, but you know, that means sex, Steve.
Yeah, just so manipulative to be like, oh man, I've also had troubles, and thank you for taking care of them. I'm good now. Good night.
It is a great, what is that term? Is it like ego? Not is like his like egotistical side. Yeah. It's always about him. Last week we watched an episode that really depressed us, and it had Marge and Homer in bed, but she was crying the whole time. And I like how we're watching this scene. It's still a horrible scene from from her perspective. Like Homer's a bad guy, but I want to take this sleeping scene and then edit like after this scene, then edit her crying so she thinks she's crying because of this conversation. That Homer doesn't get me. So like the Dark Simpsons guy on YouTube that makes all these really awful Simpsons mashup videos. I think there's something here with that episode and this episode.
I think we should collab with the Dark Simpsons guy and just be more emotionally abusive rather than like, because he you know, I haven't seen his stuff in a while, but they tend to like be more in the sexual or abuse in nature. But we can just be emotionally abusive with our memes, right, and it'll be fine. So outside of Mother Hubbard's sandwich cupboard, Gil, wearing a sandwich costume, handing out coupons for their 2-for-1 Tuesday deal. Carl would have no idea of the savings until he was handed a flyer. Gil then hands him another flyer for a gentleman's club advertising their warm buffet, color TV, and their tell you their real names Tuesday nights. Gil gets offended when Carl asks if he's working 2 jobs at the same time, but then he turns around to reveal a sign pointing to nearby luxury condos.
Do you want to do this when you like walk on the street and people hand you flyers and just like grab me like, I would have never known about this unless you handed me this flyer. Thank you, sir. May I kiss your feet?
Thank you so much. I needed this piece of paper to walk around with.
I have to do it. I have to do it, Steve. I don't know how I need to be reminded to do this, but I just want to be a dick and do this.
Can I offer you a place to do it in? Las Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Yes. Yeah.
No, because then they'll probably have my ass kicked.
Yeah, that's true.
In fact, they're just doing some sort of job. I'm not going to... I don't want to interact with them, Steve. I'm too scared.
That's fair. Yeah.
I'm not a dick. But I play one on TV. So when Homer walks into the sandwich shop, he's greeted with an almost friendly hola from Shauna, who adds that there is no charge for the meter. So Homer requests to speak to the manager. So Shauna shouts to Marge, a.k.a. Mrs. Boss, that Flat Bob wants to see her. Homer is eager to celebrate Marge's first day, but she's concerned that the store was empty from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, and Homer offers some calming support, saying that Tony Romo's wasn't built in a day. Now, I love the quickness of Marge coming out known as Homer when Sean's like, there's a fat blob to see you.
Yeah.
And then if anyone's ever worked in like food service,
yeah,
there's never business between 2 and 4. No one's eating at that time. There is sometimes, but it's a rare. That's like when you clean the store for the evening shift.
Yeah, even the Bear was probably closed from 2 to 4. Like, that is when you prep for the nighttime rush. You clean up for lunch, and then you're done. It's dead time. So, but good on Marge to be worried about it.
There's even, like, when I used to manage a pizza place, and I'm sure this is against workplace violation where the owner, because it was a small business owned by one person, and from like when I was doing like open and close shifts, and you knew this too because you did the same thing, that from like 2 to 4 there was never really any business, so we had to stay in the store but clock off. We couldn't work.
Yeah.
But we had to clock off, and if there was a phone call and someone did place an order, we could clock in and make the order, obviously. But I always felt like this seems illegal that I have to still stay here just in case someone comes in or makes a phone call, but I have to stay here. Now, granted, I was going to school at the time, so that was a lot of times when I was doing like my homework.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you shouldn't be doing homework on the clock, but still, there's probably a lawsuit there.
Yeah, I feel like I remember us turning off the lights, but maybe I'm just misremembering that. But I remember on Fridays we'd like turn off the lights for 2 hours, and like I don't know if we just pretended that nobody was there or what, but
well, we used to turn the lights off to cool the place down because it was just
that's right.
Summertime,
really
so it was so
hot.
damn hot.
Yeah,
we would turn the oven off, and the oven took about 15 minutes to heat up.
Mm-hmm.
So majority of the time we turned the oven off and just had the fan blowing, and then sometimes we turned the lights off to make it feel cool.
Okay, that's what it was. We weren't like hiding from customers.
No,
we wouldn't like open up a newspaper to hide our faces or anything.
Yeah. But yeah, so I thought that was a great joke for food workers.
Yes, yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
So Homer told everyone he knows about the shop and that it offers drone delivery. But since they don't actually have drone delivery that he promised, Homer has to find a substitute, which is a sandwich tied to a helium-filled balloon with the word drone written on it. The makeshift drone works great until Lenny's sub is stolen by a hawk flying by.
Those hawks. So when Shauna paints her nails at the register and squeaky voiced teen picks his nose with gloves on, Marge looks through the Mother Hubbard Central catalog, fretting that the company expects her to buy a lot of stuff from them, from like the uniforms to fixins. It's as though they don't care if she makes money as long as they do. She then asks what kind of corporation would do that, and then the Fox logo appears. Now, another just great joke because of all these franchising fees. Like if you want to like open like say a Subway, it's like one of the cheapest ones, but you're never going to make a profit because you have to buy so much into the Subway.
And
like,
you
brand.
You just have to deal with so much stuff. And I just think about like families that are like trying to like get out of the corporate rat race and like do something to improve their family, especially like immigrant families, which is, often who invests into franchises, thinking that they're doing something to make the American dream come true, only to be screwed over by a huge corporation who charges them left and right. And then they have to deal with like, the nuisances of the neighborhood and like just school kids and like all the things that people have to deal with for owning a business without any of the success or pride of actually owning a business. It's rough.
Like think about like the brand McDonald's or Subway, right? Like we know of these brands that exists, but the fact that like if you have a franchise like of McDonald's, you have to put so much money into advertising, but it's like, why? People know McDonald's. I don't need to put my money into this advertising.
Yeah.
And just so many things. Yeah, it's not a get rich quick scheme. There's no such thing as that in this country. But it's so tough because if you want to open a restaurant, you're like, well, maybe the franchise thing is the way to go because they already have set everything. There's a menu, there's a name brand, but you're not going to make money. And then if you open your own mom and pop sandwich shop, you're still not going to make money because then you have to pay money for advertising and everything else and the costs of labor
and you have to compete with the prices of a franchise that's going to open up right next door to you because like they can afford to undercut you no matter what. If you're like an independent shop too, it sucks.
Yeah. But I think like with today, when it is like we complain about a Big Mac costing $14, when a pub right down the street that is just independently owned sells you a cheeseburger and fries for $15.99. At that point, I'm going there over McDonald's, and it's going to be better anyways.
That is true, yeah.
But I think it's that mentality of the fast food chain. It's just like, look, we don't have to think about it. It makes the kids happy. I can eat it on the road. I'm done.
Yeah, and you get a toy.
Yeah.
But I do like them throwing shit at Fox. Always a good time. But what's funny is any corporation could work there.
I know. I was hoping the Subway logo showed up instead of the Fox logo.
So just then, Gil walks in saying that he's not a political sandwich, but he's the only employee that can be trusted. So he points to Shauna, who opens the cash register and pockets a $20 bill. So catching her in the act, Marge fires Shauna on the spot. Shauna feels like she's that girl in the movie that got fired, and says that if she goes, Squeaky Voice Teen is quitting too. The Squeaky Voice Teen is confused, but agrees to leave when Shauna shows off her bra strap, since the horny pubescent lad is happy to see what, quotes, holds them up.
Can I have a punch-up joke?
Yes.
After they both leave, Marge should have said, now where am I going to find employees? Those are, for some reason, the only 2 teenagers in Springfield.
That's a solid joke. Because they are the only 2 teenagers. Yeah, I like that.
Unless, of course, Kearney, we still don't really know, and maybe Otto, we still don't know.
Yeah.
Marge begins to stress since she's down to 2 workers in the middle of an afternoon rush. And just then, Chief Wiggum walks in demanding a 6-foot sub with an obscene amount of mayonnaise. Which is what I should probably say when I go to Jersey Mike's, because they barely put mayonnaise on.
Always more mayonnaise, please.
Yeah. Yeah, he tells her to never stop squirting mayo, Steve.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, Homer is there with his apron on, ready to help out. So he dons his paper hat and pulls out his sandwich gloves, which are stored in a condom wrapper in his wallet. So I don't get this. I know the trope of a guy always keeps a condom in his wallet, which I think I did when I was a teenager.
Everybody did.
It was cool, but I'm like, this is kind of dumb. I don't like this.
It's a silly joke, yeah.
But it's just like it's gloves for food safety gloves. I don't know. It would have been funnier if, I'm going to say it's funnier, but what if it was still a condom? And I know he would put the paper hat on, but it would have been funnier if it was the condom, but he ripped it open and it was a hairnet. Because, he's always precious about his 2 hairs and he had to cover his 2 hairs.
That's a better joke. I think so. Yeah. No, I think I like that.
All right, Bill, I got 2 jokes you didn't put in there. I'm going to tell your older brother to kick your ass.
God damn it. With the customers taken care of, Marge goes to the back room asking herself why this all has to be so hard. So in this underpants, Gil apologizes, telling Marge that it's also his changing room. Seeing that he has chicken legs, Marge thinks that Gil really was working 2 jobs simultaneously, but it turns out that those are his actual legs, and he's just a very unhealthy man. And then the kids stop by the store that night and are put to work.
This is so sad. In his homeland, Dad was a nuclear engineer.
Oh, I was short-staffed and your father volunteered. Actually, I was wondering if you 2 might want to lend a hand.
No. You want to make American kids work? You're supposed to be driving me to a tennis class I said I wanted, then I changed my mind and I hate it so much I'm faking stomach aches to get out of it.
Would it kill one of you to wash a bell pepper?
I'm not sure this is the best use of my skills.
I said wash. And Bart, go work the deep fryer.
Well, if I'll be doing this when I'm 40, might as well start now. I'm home.
Guys, this is going to be hard for a while, but we'll get through this as a family.
Yes, we will. The Simpsons and old Uncle Gil.
Gil? I've been meaning to tell you. You're fired.
Yeah, guess I had it coming.
What I like Bart just sinking right into his role as a fry cook, and also Lisa being too good for washing a bell pepper. But also, this sandwich shop, this sub shop sells fries. I'm going to that sub shop. I don't want a shitty bag of potato chips. I want fries.
And they also have a salsa bar, so that implies that they might have nachos.
Yeah, this is a great place.
Yeah, there's something I love about, like you said, the Bart scene and just in his element. Like he's, yeah, I'm going to do this in my 40s. And the joke of always being like, oh, if you work in a fast food restaurant in your 40s or whatever, something went wrong. But nowadays it's like we don't frown upon that kind of shit. And I think being a fry cook at a fast food restaurant like McDonald's is probably a lot better than it used to be, because they make it now, like we complain about it, they make it now so you don't ever have to really interact with customers.
Yeah, so that sounds pretty nice to me. Just, yeah.
And then we brought it up too about how like immigrants coming to this country buying into the franchises, and that joke of Lisa saying like watching Homer make a sandwich, like he used to be a nuclear engineer in his country.
Right. Should we break down the menu that is posted on the wall?
So there's this like really eccentric chef that invites a bunch of wealthy influencers over to his island for this epic meal. He's played by Ralph Fiennes, and Nicholas Hoult, Lex Luthor, and About a Boy himself is like really obsessed with this chef and one of those like foodies, and he's dating this girl Anya Taylor-Joy, but it turns out she's actually, I think, just a escort because he didn't have a date. All these weird meals that he's cooking, all those eccentric people, and Joanne Kearns is in the movie. And anyways, Anya Taylor-Joy is like, this place is fucking weird. I need to get out of here, but she can't because there's only one boat. And she poo-poos everything that Ralph Fiennes makes until the end when she's like, I just want a cheeseburger. And that's the only thing he wants to cook because it was his memory of why he got into being a chef, because of his fast food job as a child.
Wow. Great breakdown.
Ultimately, everyone dies, but Anya Taylor-Joy escapes and arrives into America, and she marries an away Grunt Boy Craig.
Wow. That's a different ending than I remember, but a great movie. One of my favorites, actually.
Good movie, Steve. Let's watch it.
Yeah, all right.
I don't remember the last part, but that was what happened in my mind.
Nice.
All right, Steve, we have peanut butter and yummy. That's $5.49.
I love a peanut butter sandwich. I'm not going to pay for one in a restaurant.
Nope.
Next, we have the Old Fogey Hoagie for $6.89.
Exclusive club sandwich for $7.25.
We have the Po' Boy with rich girl sauce for $6.99.
Atomic submarine sandwich for $5.64.
Italian grinder with monkey for $6.88.
Quick question: is that supposed to be Mr. Teeny?
I was wondering about that myself.
All right. Well, gyros and go for $5.69. Now, before I ask you, Steve, would you go into a restaurant with these arbitrary numbers for pricing?
That drives me insane. Just round everything up or down. Like, make everything like $6.50. It'll work out.
But I kind of want to have like a chaotic pricing system like this. And all right, are we coming with a restaurant? Or no, we're wrestlers. I forget what we're doing this week.
Yeah, we're bread wrestlers.
Yeah. Man, I love a club sandwich, and it's exclusive. It's also the most expensive, but for some reason, it seems the more appropriate. Like, I like those numbers, $7.25.
It is a good number.
Easy to read. Yeah.
I think, if not the club sandwich, I would go with the Italian grinder with monkey. I don't want monkey meat, but I do like an Italian grinder. That's usually my go-to, so.
I'm afraid of what rich girl sauce is for that po' boy, because I do love a po' boy.
Yeah, po' boys are good, but I don't want to gunk it up with rich girl sauce. Probably tastes like, I don't know, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth vagina.
Goop. What do you think is in the Old Fogey Hoagie? Like,
it's probably like olive loaf, pimento loaf or something. Like old Depression era type of sandwich, maybe.
Yeah, like maybe like
a lot of pickles, things.
Pickles, maybe a smear of tuna fish.
Sardines,
some liver, some onions. Not smelling
capers.
Great. That sounds. Oh yeah, capers for sure.
What was that episode of Curb when he goes to the deli and the Larry David sandwich is like the worst sounding sandwich, like whitefish and capers?
It's probably exactly what it is.
Yeah. Worst sandwich. We should do an episode of Kirby, that episode, and then make the Larry David and review it.
Ooh, I like that. Yeah. So before Gil leaves, he asks if he can take some bologna hills with him, and Marge offers as many as he'd like, and the somewhat lovable loser is delighted when he finds a big old fat one.
Oh no, how did Ned's penis get in there? So Marge's shop begins to flourish, feeding more and more customers. Even Duffman stuffs a sub down his pants, turning his slider dick into a foot long.
Oh, yeah.
The mayo delivery guy hooks up a hose of that white gooey stuff into the shop, and Homer's balloon drones bring hoagies to the masses along with utensils, condiments, and comment cards. Marge frames her first $1, then her second, and all the way to the $11. I like how when the mayo guys come in, they squeeze the truck. It's with the last bit of mayo. And another punch-up. Why didn't a hoagie get into Lenny's eye?
That's really funny, yeah.
3 punch-ups.
Yeah, you are like a short boxer with all those punch-ups. Also, I want to open a restaurant just so I can fill the first wall with all the first $11 that I make. I really think that's a funny thing.
It's funny. Or like just to have like a $1 bill up there and say, our 300th dollar bill, I forgot to put the first one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Maggie works the register, shaking the tip jar, and her moneymaker. To get a little cash, Marge compliments Maggie, and the guy leaves mocking Maggie's work. Either way, Marge is proud of her family and is delighted to share that they actually made a profit. And as she says this, she flips us the welcoming opening sign to the other side, which features a skull and crossbones and says, "We're closed," and the alarm is on.
Great sign. Who was the guy that came in when Maggie was at the counter? He looked so familiar, like another like Simpsons caricature. Like he looked, I don't know. He looks like someone that we've seen before, like just like maybe a background character, but he has a distinct look to himself.
Is that just Stamp the Ticket guy from something? Like he's like not Raphael, but he's like Raphael's like other. Like he sometimes has brown hair, sometimes he has gray hair, but he makes like sarcastic remarks.
I'm looking at, and his name is called Just Stamp the Ticket Man. How did you know that was his name?
I think
on the Simpsons wiki.
I think it was like the Leftorium episode. The Leftorium offers free parking, and Ned tries to like say some Ned bullshit, and he's just like, just stamp the ticket.
Yeah, he's also in a Kiss Cam. Looks like I'm on the Simpsons wiki, and it looks like this episode it is him. I'm based off of the gallery images on the Simpsons fandom wiki. So he's got gray hair now. Yeah, this is just Stamp the Ticket guy. All right. Does he have an action figure? I don't think he does.
I don't think so.
And was he ever made in Tapped Out?
That I'm sure he possibly was.
I'm reading the trivia behind this character. He was dubbed just Stamp the Ticket guy in the When Flanders Failed. That's what Josh Weinstein called him. Well, I asked and Steve delivered. So good job, Steve.
Thank you.
So Marge tells Bart and Lisa that they are turning shredded lettuce, pre-sliced cheese, and cold cuts and turning them into the American dream. Marge wipes away a prideful tear just as Bart notices something being erected in his pants. I mean, across the street, Steve. It's a Mother Hubbard's Sandwich Cupboard Express. So while Marge tries to process how the corporation could do such a thing, Wiggum and his boys grab a 6-foot sub from the new location. And again, this is like Subway coded because there's like, isn't it Subway Express? Well, there's a lot of like different express restaurants at this time, right?
Yeah, I think there's like a Togo's, which is not a common place in the West Coast, but a Togo's Express. And like there are other ones with like a limited menu. They'll sometimes put them in airports, but otherwise they'll just put them in other places to make the illusion of quickness.
Yeah.
So Lou asks the chief who he thinks he's fooling with this 1 sandwich a day diet, but Clancy responds that it works because it's on whole wheat, which cleans up your insides. So as the police chief sits in the back of the squad car to be closer to a sandwich, let us take a moment to think about at this time, Jared from Subway was just a dork who ate a bunch of sandwiches to lose weight. And, you know, not known for child porn. Like, it always baffles me because that seems like so far ago, but, like, that didn't really come out until, like, 2016.
So far ago.
Don't you know?
So, wait, no. It was, like, early 2000s.
No, it wasn't.
The Subway guy?
Yeah. Like, Jared was around, but, like, his accusations weren't, like, until, like, 2015 or 2016.
Oh, I thought you were saying like the Subway guy didn't start until 2016. Like, no, that's about right. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that like in my head that the controversy happened way earlier than that, but it wasn't like I know it's like 10 years ago now, but like it still seems like a long time ago.
Again, 10 years ago feels only like 2 years ago to us.
Right.
For all I know, this is a new episode of The Simpsons that was aired on Sunday.
Yeah, this is still in my mind very new.
Yeah. Our podcast really should have been like from seasons 30 and beyond.
Yeah.
Really. Well, Marge is baffled that they'd open a franchise so close to hers, but Homer's confident that they'll be just fine, since their store is a family operation. Homer's confidence takes a hit when he sees who's running that new location.
How could they open another franchise so close to me?
Don't worry, Marge. They can't beat us because we're family run. Ah! Hillbillies!
Okay, in you go, minimum wage. Add 'em up. Oxycontin, Fontanil, and Pediculus. You make way for those that's nocturnal coming off the night shift.
Mom, I need a few hours off. It's Milhouse's birthday party, and I'm all the guests.
I understand, honey. Did you get someone to cover?
Grandpa.
I'm working the drive-through.
There is no drive-through.
No, thank you. Finally, a customer.
Simpson, why aren't you at work?
Hold that famous temper, Smithers. Who is this? Simpson, introduce me to this almond-eyed beauty, and all is forgiven.
Mr. Burns, I'd like you to meet Mother Hubbard Standee.
From the Wisconsin Standees.
In the beginning of that clip, I love the Spuckler kids who are getting off work because they just look so tired and so worn out. It's just really abusive to make the kids work that hard.
And one has a tail.
Mm-hmm.
The all too well bit of wanting a day off and you can't get anyone to cover the shift. So relatable. Sorry, Bart. I feel like Bart would rather be at work than at Millhouse's, but he's just exhausted. And Grandpa's scene is great with the the pigeon going, coo, and coo you too. Is the Mother Hubbard Standee 3-dimensional or 2-dimensional? Because her eyes would really be a problem if those toothpicks were 3-dimensional.
I can't tell. I think it's 2-dimensional, but it does seem like a real big safety hazard.
Yeah.
Yeah, because looking at Mother Hubbard's mascot Standee, which is a woman with a sandwich for a head, olives with toothpicks sticking out for eyes, lettuce for hair, and subs for arms, Monty thinks that she is milk-fed and yet so slim. He then plays a tune on his mouth organ, or harmonica, and his breath causes the Standee to tip over. Smithers thinks that that's their cue to leave, and Burns says, "Sorry you died," and tells his loyal assistant to put the body with the others.
It is a weird scene, but I kind of wish that Homer and Burns were like both oogling over Mother Hubbard, because Homer for the food reasons and not the sexual reasons. Okay, Steve, look up Rule 34. Is there an image of Burns fucking the Standee while Homer eats
Mother Hubbard? Jeez.
All right.
Rule 34. Why did I not hit safe search?
Homer breathes a sigh of relief, wiping the sweat off his brow with a piece of romaine lettuce. Abe tells his sons that if he ever gets to be that senile, Homer should get a gun and, before he can finish his thought, there's a rifle pointed in Abe's face. It's so like cartoony, like Looney Tunes cartoony.
Yeah, yeah.
The gun in the face. Yeah.
It also makes me think that they have a gun in the shop just in case.
I don't oppose of having an armed weapon at a place of business.
Yeah, you never know when Michael Douglas will come in and he's falling down.
Okay, maybe not businesses, but schools. Schools should definitely have guns.
It just makes sense. Have more doors, more guns. That's all you can do. That's really all you can do.
If you're a teacher, always carry, open carry. Come on.
Yeah.
This is America.
You got to have them.
We don't need books. We don't need more books in schools. We need more guns. That's the platform I'm running on, Steve.
Yes, we should hollow out the books so we can put revolvers in there. The desks,
I like
also
this.
Guns, yeah.
Well, bulletproof shields, too, you know.
Yeah, that's what shop class is now for, to make shields.
Why are we running this country, Steve? This is what America wants.
Yes, we are the saviors that the country needs. So we'll become wrestling champions, and then we'll wrestle Donald Trump and become president. Because I'm pretty sure that's how that works now.
You think we're joking. Anyway, Steve, let's continue.
All right. In the bedroom that night, Homer is stunned that his pants won't stay up. Marge is also shocked, noting that Homer has been working so hard that he's actually lost weight. As Marge remarks, they are killing themselves for a restaurant that no one goes to. She's heard Homer say it plenty of times, but now it's her turn. Marge is going to Moe's. Homer is so shocked he gasps, causing his pants to return to his waist. Meanwhile, Marge gets drunk and begins to understand the appeal of the bar.
Now I know why why you come here so much. No matter how sad you are inside, what you see looks worse.
Yeah, it was really hard for me to make this place look old, but not in any way comfortable. Now, maybe some TV will cheer you up. You's in the mood for a sandwich. Come on down to Mother Hubbard Sandwich Covered Express for all the sandwiches you love. Bread sandwich, yesterday's what's it with ketchup, and the thing what ate our chickens.
Looks like a fox, but it ain't.
Be sure to follow us on Pinterest and Critter.
Oh, yesterday's what's it? Why does everyone go to them?
It's Express, Marge.
And with our busy lifestyle, we gotta have Express.
Listen there, Midge. I know how to get you out of your contract, but I gotta warn you, you will never work in the fast food industry again.
Go on, please.
Again, the idea of Express being so, we need things faster, like Lenny and Carl are there, but they're not using anything with their time.
They're not even eating their sandwiches.
No,
they just toast, cheers, and just staring at nothing. They don't even have beers. And
No.
Mo allows the outside food in his bar. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's nice of him.
I love when Marge is there and her hair's down because of all the alcohol she just has been drinking.
Also,
There's something about the scene where it's relating to Homer because of his days of work being stressful. He pretty much just sleeps on the job.
Yeah, and it's funny because Marge says, now I know why you come here to get drunk all the time. And I was kind of wondering if that was her talking to Homer, just not with Homer there, but just the idea of now I see why you do it all the time because life sucks and it's fun to get drunk.
Yeah, and he's not actually there because he's probably the responsible one and staying home and watching the kids. It was nice of him.
Yeah.
So Marge calls in Trudy Zeeler to show the new Mother Hubbard's Express is taking all their customers, and Marge feels that this is extremely unfair, but Trudy replies that if she wants fairness, she should work at Sunglass Hut, saying that she's in the sandwich game now. Marge doesn't quite understand Miss Zeeler's whole deal until she learns that Trudy grew up in the pageant system, and then she understands completely.
So Homer, in a suit, fedora, and a fake mustache, does his best guy incognito impression, pretending to be a litigious businessman who is looking to get a coffee to go. Lisa calls out for a Jumbo Joe to go, and Bart brings the uncapped coffee to Homer, spilling it all over his crotch.
As Homer screams in pain, Marge calls for a first aid kit, and then Lisa repeats the request, yelling for Florence Nightingale in a box on the double, and Bart returns once again, and once again he trips on the same spot, sending medical scissors and several needles into Homer's groin. All of those scissors and needles that are in the first aid kit.
Yeah.
Looking to help even further, Bart grabs the fire extinguisher and slams it into his father's hog, with Homer, still in character, asks why are these things happening to innocent victims, adding that he was about to become $1 million crotch bottle. Trudy tries to shift the blame, but Marge is one step ahead.
Hey, it's not corporate's fault.
Really? But the franchise agreement says Mother Hubbard Inc. would provide adequate training for all employees, which they didn't. Clause 27 C3.
You actually read this thing? It was written by 2 lawyers who had to keep waking the other one up.
If you'll just give me back my original investment, I'll take full responsibility for this man's injuries.
Please, tell me I'm still beautiful.
All right, Marge, you've got a deal.
Well, family, we should be proud. We took on corporate America and broke even.
Hear, hear.
I really like when Trudy and Marge are talking. Homer's mustache begins to fall off, and he adjusts it, and then his pants fall down. Just great animation.
And it doesn't look like they really penetrated beyond the pants. His underwear looks fine.
Yes.
Any blood.
So his crotch modeling career can go unabated.
Absolutely.
So the Simpsons sit in the park celebrating their win. And, of course, the scene is inspired by Sunday Afternoon on the Island of La Grande Jatte by French post-impressionist painter Georges Seurat. Also to note that Mrs. Krabappel is in that painting, despite the fact that she is no longer with us as of that episode. And then in a nearby pond, Smithers grows tired as he paddles himself, Burns, and the Mother Hubbard standee. He asks if they've gone far enough to ditch the body, but Monty just wanted to pitch woo, so he blows on his harmonica once again, and the force of his breath causes him to fall into the water. And I do have to take a moment to say that I know that Mother Hubbard is a cardboard cutout of a sandwich lady, but it's a little weird that Mr. Burns knowingly killed her and is now trying to flirt with the dead body. Again, he's just a senile old man, so it's fine, but just wanted to point that out.
Maybe this was the standee that was in the Express one that he took.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it's a different one.
Yeah.
Or maybe like this is when he said earlier, he's like, take him with the rest of the bodies. What if he just goes to every Mother Hubbard shop and thinks that he knocks them down and kills them, and he just has like a bunch of standees?
Yeah, there could have been a joke where I hear like they go to the Express and take that standee, and it's like, I hear this one's a fast one, you know.
One quick question about the Mother Hubbard, or not the Hubbard, the Sunday afternoon painting. Who's Krusty with? Is that because I thought he was with like Princess Penelope? Like that was kind of like how like Mo has Maya every once in a while. Then Krusty has Anne Hathaway's Princess Penelope. But who is that?
That's a really
lady?
good question.
Yeah. And I guess because they're trying to recreate the painting, like why wouldn't Krabappel be with Ned and the kids? Are they not? But they should be together, right? Because she dies a few episodes after this. Yeah. That's all. I just was curious.
That is a good question. I don't know who that is.
Well, so that's the end of this story proper. But before we go, Steve, let's visit great moments in sandwich history starring Homer Simpson. So we head to the prehistoric Springfield and the dawn of sandwiches. Neanderthal Homer spies on his prey, a giant sloth, with a grunt. Homer declares that this sloth will be easy to catch.
So the sloth ever so slowly walks away, and Homer follows behind, moving in the same sluggish manner. The sloth sleeps, and so does Homer. When the giant sloth wakes up, he kindly taps Homer awake so the laborious chase can continue.
Finally, Homer is able to beat the beast to death, and so he cooks it over an open fire and discovers that it's too hot. So cave person Homer asks himself what hold meat with. So he looks around and finds a pair of leaves, 2 mushrooms, and then a vast field of wheat. And in that field, 2 prehistoric squirrels stand on a rock. So with a pang of inspiration, Homer cries out, "Eureka!" in his native language, using the 2 rodents as bread of the sloth sandwich instead of like producing flour to make bread.
Yeah. Homer sinks into the tar pit, holding the sandwiches over his head in an attempt to save it. At a museum several millennia later, modern-day Homer looks at the fossil of his ancestor, saying, sandwich. And that's our episode.
All right. Any information about Krusty's girlfriend, or are we going to be left high and dry?
I think we're going to be left high and dry, not low and wet, because I don't see any appearances of that person.
All right. I typed in Krusty the Clown girlfriends. It's not Princess Penelope. I don't think it's Eartha Kitt. Holly Hippie? Mia Farrow. Rita Morena? Or is it Erin, the mother of Krusty's daughter? I don't think that it would be her either.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the Krusty's ex-girlfriend that we meet in Marge versus the Monorail. She's like has the baby.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at her picture, maybe it's her. Just has a different hairstyle. You know, when Krusty gets out of the car, and she's like, "Krusty, why wouldn't you say hi to their baby?" Remember that episode? The Marge versus the Monorail?
Oh, yeah,
You ever seen that one? Yeah. It's an episode people don't talk about. Yeah. It's not considered a great episode at all. All right, Steve, I guess we're left with thoughts on that. But really, I want your thoughts on this episode, and we're going to take a little break and come back and spill your thoughts. All right?
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let's wrap up this week's episode of Super Franchise Me. We'll talk about some of our favorite jokes and scenes, maybe find our most valuable jokester, give it a review. But before all of that, Steve, we are going to find something from this episode that could be a product. And this episode is all about products and franchising and merchandising and all that sort of thing. So, Steve, I got you some good stuff here. We were talking earlier about how it seemed wealthy for having a freezer in your household, and I thought I'm going to give you your own Freezerino, complete with stacks of meat that are frozen, so you can have your wife make you sandwiches all day. Because men can't do that kind of work.
Of course not.
Also, here is a contract for you to be a super famous crotch model.
Hey.
I tripped and all my needles and scissors just fell on your crotch.
Ow.
Those had heroin and other things in it.
Ow. Oh,
Steve, this is probably one of the more thoughtful gifts I'm ever going to give you, and you're probably going to cry. It's a poster that just says sandwich on it. That was in the background of their restaurant.
Wow. It's what matters to me the most.
And then I noticed your roof on your apartment is kind of boring, so I got them to build you a sandwich roof like the Mother Hubbard's has. So that's your new roof. And I know you're going to do it for me, so I'm going to do it for you. I actually got you the Simpsons Sunday afternoon painting on the island of LeGrand.
Wow.
You can put that up in your apartment. And then a couple weeks ago, I gave you a gift to give to your wife, and it was a open and close sign.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Simpsons related, and I honestly forgot what it was, but I knew she wouldn't put it up. So I got her a different sign. That's right. I got her the open and then the closed cross symbol sign for her brick and mortar store.
Very nice.
I hope she'll like that one better than the one that I gave her a couple weeks ago.
She already likes it so much more.
Okay, thank you.
Very nice, Craig. I also got you some things. I got you a DVD rewinder, so, you can be kind to yourself.
Remember when, they actually sold those at, Spencer's Gifts as a gag gift? Yeah, okay. They're real. As a joke, of course.
I got you a Jesus checks Satan into the box figurine. I got you a Mother Hubbard standee. You can do with it what you will. And while you're doing it, you can do it in a salsa station, which I also got you. And I got you...
Whoa. A salsa station? That's actually the greatest gift of all time.
I know.
That's really what I would want in real life.
And the next time you go to Jersey Mike's, you'll be happy because I also got you a truck full of mayo. And finally, because I know you love technology, I got you a brand new drone.
Oh, boy.
I mean, it is just a Mylar balloon that says drone on it, but it'll work. Just watch out for crows and hawks.
It probably won't steal my information, though.
That is true, yeah.
So it's a plus. I think I would, just lie in a bathtub full of salsa if you just dumped a bunch of corn chips on me. That would be And then, okay, here we go. Swimming pool full of salsa, and then when I get out, the hot tub is queso.
Ooh, yeah. That sounds kind of pleasant.
I think I want to be a billionaire so I can make this happen.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With our bread wrestling franchise, we might be able to become billionaires to make this happen, Steve.
I like this, yeah. We'll pivot into a more Mexican-inspired wrestling group.
Steve, what the hell made you laugh in this episode? Did you have an MVJ? Any jokes? Something you didn't like? Give us a review.
I am surprised to say that I think my MVJ might be Gil. His story about his dad working his way up from the mailroom to the top floor where he committed suicide, very funny. I like him as the guy handing out things. I just thought he was fun. I really enjoyed the opening from Ned with the Jesus figurines to the Rod and Todd looking for energy vampires to the Ferris wheel. All really funny stuff. I think this is a fun episode all throughout. I really like the way that the family kind of all banded together to help each other and work it out. I think that it is a great commentary on American capitalism and how hard it is to be a franchisee. I think there's just a lot of good in this episode. I think if I had a complaint, I feel like the episode was a little short, and I feel like the Sandwiches of History at the end was a little bit of a capper, and I don't know if they would have time to wedge in a B story or if they even wanted to, but that just felt a little in, but I don't know. That's a small complaint. Also, I think that the couch gag with the Cat Stevens song also very good. This is just a fun time at the Simpsons. I think Marge was great in it. Homer helping out, really good. I like Bart and Lisa's dynamic, just all around good. And I think my favorite thing though is the hiring of the people and just the way that worked out and then didn't work out. So, just a great stuff. And so if I had to give it a ranking. According to Subway, the total cost to start a franchise, low end is $116,000. So I'm going to give this $120,000 so you can have extra mayo. What are your thoughts, Craig?
Yeah, from the start, I think great couch gag, like you said. I loved with the Cat Stevens song, and then the with the Ralph part where he's just stuck there is hilarious to me. And off to a good start there for a good couch gag, and the Jesus figurines with Ned and the stupid Ferris wheel, like silly, and the whole like waiting room with Marge cooking the meat like it's an operating room in a hospital. Just well done. And him thinking of the kids as food, and the Tress MacNeille character.
Oh yeah,
also great. And like that whole scene with her, like, now close your eyes, and she's gone. I'm just right behind you. And then like Marge telling her the flashback. It's nice to see Shauna and just her lackadaisical teen attitude, and we got to see a bra strap, which is cool. I didn't know that's what hold boobs up. The animation, like, and the decor and like the style in it, and like just everything was well done. Like MBJ. I mean, I always love a Lenny and Carl scene, so they were always great. Gil, I think, yeah, because he likes the heels. That's a good MBJ. Maybe I'll give it to Abe because I like his scene in the drive-thru, even though they don't have a drive-thru, and then him telling them to put butter on him because he's a potato, and then when the shotgun just appears in front of his face. So there you go. Abe gets my MBJ. Had a lot of fun talking about this episode, and even though I made like 4 punch-up jokes, makes me think that like it would make you think that maybe I don't like the episode. I think that's far from the truth. When we don't like an episode, we barely have much to say about the episode, and we barely do punch-ups. I think that this episode is so engaging because we're like, ooh, it would be fun if this happened or this happened. And I think that's a sign of us liking an episode. And on paper, when we read this description, it just reminds me of like, shitty. And like, oh, the Simpsons are doing this. I know we've already had this. But it was such a fun, refreshing pace of what we got last week, which was just a downer of an episode. And then this one, like Homer, in a way was supportive. You know, he went and helped Marge. The kids helped Marge. And I like the family dynamic. I like when the family teams up to help. And I'm glad there wasn't a B story with like the kids doing something else and then Marge just doing this on her own with Homer. And the message of the franchising and corporate America and mom and pop small businesses. And this also, like we talked about, like foreign people coming in trying to, you know, chase that American dream. It is shattered because of our capitalistic nature and these giant corporations that, you know, the handful that own this country really bring the middle class down. There is no middle class. It's low class and then rich people. And it's a great message. It's frustrating because you think, okay, well, maybe it helps if I have that 130,000 to open a Subway.
Basically, 116 just to get started.
Sure. And a lot of people can save up that kind of money, like working their whole life with all that money and then getting a loan from the bank. Because you still have to like a lot initial investment money down, you know, and then the loan from the banks, and then the fact that you got to pay into so many fees for this business because you think it'll be easier because you don't have to worry about a lot of the stuff. But in reality, it's a headache. Running a business is a headache. And this just helps reiterate that whole message. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this episode. I thought it was great. On paper, like we said, maybe you're right, it was a little short. They did a little bit at the end with the cave person Homer, which was fine.
Yeah, it was fun.
If you got a little bit more. I think the weird part of the show was the Mr. Burns and Miss Hubbard figure. I'm wondering if they just had that in there to address why Homer's not at work, but I think at this point we'd never need to address why Homer's never at the nuclear power plant.
Yeah, we just accept it. So, yeah. But other than that, like, yeah, even though I gave punch-ups, it's still a great episode. I recommend it. A lot of fun. If I gave this a ranking, I talked, of course, about the writer of this episode, Bill Odenkirk, who I said was from Chicago. Well, technically, they're from Naperville, Illinois, which is about 30 minutes outside of Chicago. And I decided to look at other famous people that were from Naperville, like him and his brother. A lot of like sports people and cartoonists and TV, local media news channel people. But then I'm going through a list, and Paul Britton, who's an actor comedian, was on SNL, and of course Bob Odenkirk wrote on SNL.
another person from SNL, Chris Red from Naperville. So interesting that those SNL people were grown in Naperville. But another actress that I saw that was from there is Danielle Panabaker, and she is from, well, she was on a bunch of stuff as like a Disney kid, but I knew her from the Flash TV show, the CW show, and she was a main character on that show, and I thought, The Flash. What are some of the best issues of the Flash? And that, of course, I think of a single issue, of course, Flash Volume 2, issue 54, I think, off of my head, Nobody Dies. It's a brilliant single issue story where Wally West learns a profound lesson about the true limits and responsibilities of saving everyone in Central City, if I can remember off the top of my head. So I think this episode, I'm going to rank it Flash Volume 2, issue 54.
Very nice.
Well, I'm glad we watched an episode that we weren't annoyed with. We are the Annoyed Grumpos after all, and a lot of fun. I just hope maybe next week we can also have some fun with this show. And Steve, there's no Wheel of Random. He's taking Labor Day weekend off.
He earns it.
As is his contract, only working 2 weeks out of the year for us. So even more special, Steve, we have a new Disney Plus special called Yellow Mirror.
Ooh.
It's coming out on Wednesday, the 25th. So you'll have to wait a whole week for us to review that. Sorry, we don't do this live on Thursdays. The synopsis goes, a defective lamp reveals a heartbreaking truth about what Homer believes is reality, and an AI-powered tablet befriends and controls Maggie. The Simpsons struggle to find the light through the two dark tales of Curious and the Bizarre. I don't have a runtime on this, but it's interesting that it's not a 3-part trilogy like they usually do with like a Treehouse. That is 2 stories and not 3 or 1.
Mm-hmm. Because it does seem like it is like one of those non-canonical Disney Plus situations where it is like more fantastical, like a trilogy episode, but it is just a duology.
I'm assuming it's still just a standard 22 minutes, but I guess we'll find out this coming August 26, 2026. Steve, it was written by our favorite, the great Caroline Omini, but not just Caroline Omini. Her daughter, Kai Omini, is also credited as writing this episode.
Very cool. It's good to see family writing together, and I'm excited for this. I'm really curious to see what they do. And like, I feel like since the season proper has ended, like the term Yellow Mirror, I've seen it on the wikis a lot, and so I'm excited to finally get to see what it's all about.
And really, like, only a few weeks before the actual season premiere of season 38.
True, yeah.
We have special guest voices Patty Harrison and Demi Moore.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Looking forward to that. Steve, it was fun, but it's time to say adieu.
Adieu.
I sound like a real pretentious podcaster when I say shit like that. Folks, let us know what's going on with yourself or us or whatever. Share recipes. Just email us at 13simpsons@gmail.com or contact us on socials like Instagram or YouTube at 138simpsons.
And sign up for our Patreon. It's just $5 a month. Go to patreon.com/Annoyed Grunt Boys. We have a new episode every week. We might be talking about a classic episode of the Golden Age of Simpsons. We might be talking about a movie that is somehow related to Simpsons, a TV show, or we might just talk about whatever pop culture we're consuming currently. It's a good time. It's a great podcast. You should check it out. Your life will be better for it.
That's right, just $5 a month. And hey, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you're allowed to leave reviews and rankings. Give us 5 stars or the equivalent, but you don't have to write a real review. No, you can just tell us the perfect sandwich that you make.
And if you want to be cool and you can't afford Mother Hubbard's catalog of uniforms, go to tpublic.com/user/Annoyed Grunt Boys and get yourself some cool Annoyed Grunt Boys swag.
All right, that's going to do it for this week, everybody. I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, you won't hire me because I'm pretty.
No matter how sad you are inside, what you see looks worse.
Be sure to follow us on Pinterest and Critter.